I've actually got a written speech which is very out of character, but I've had lots of meetings today and I wanted to think about today's exhibition. Can you all see me here? I'm kind of...
Come round,
gather, and we can talk about children while you're all moving. There's a movement. This is called Occupy the Auditorium. Okay, that's good. And it's great to have so many children here because I've already been doing deals about charging 50 cents per ride. Except I'm not sure about the baby in the background there. Might need a harness, but anyway. Can I say I want to thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight. And I'm going to look at my script here, but some of you I know, and you probably know that I don't keep to scripts because I tend to tell all sorts of really ridiculous stories. I must say, since I've been in law school, most of my stories do not include expletives these days. So I've cleaned up my act, but so it's great to be here. My disclaimer is I'm a little bit tired. Unlike Leslie, who was here last year, who just got off a plane, my only excuse is that I've spent the last 2 days, the Griffith Law School is currently being reviewed, and we've just finished the process today. So I must say it's strange to be back here after having a different role, after 10 years actually involved in the School of Human Services and Social Work, which is a bit of a shock for me. I've never had a job for 10 years, so that was interesting. And as many of you would know, that I'm actually at the Griffith Law School now, which is part of Griffith University, folks, at another campus. And this year we ran our first course on disability jurisprudence. And plans are afoot to roll out a graduate diploma of disability studies in law in the near distance future. So this is my opportunity to have a marketing moment. But I want to use this time as an opportunity for reflection. And I know that students who have undertaken 2017 HSV and 7004 HSV, I still remember the codes, which is a miracle for me, have experienced the notion of reflection as very much as part of this course. Some of you kicking and screaming, no doubt. But I wanted to talk about a few things. The first thing I was thinking about when I was writing this at 5 AM this morning in the office was what makes disability studies critical. Okay, so and there are heaps of courses and programs that study disability. And disability can have an issues focus. In fact, it can be a population study. Often schools of social work and schools of rehabilitation actually have that as a population group. But one of the distinguishing features of critical disability studies and international best practice is interdisciplinarity. Okay, so drawing upon the insights of humanities and philosophy and cultural studies, psychology, law, and even geography. I've been really amazed. And I must say, actually, I recently read an article on disability studies and intellectual property law. That's the one that did it for me. So if you think any place disability studies can colonise that experience. But it's more than this. At the heart, disability studies is a theoretical endeavour, and I want to tell you about why it's a theoretical endeavour. It does seek to capture and interpret the lived experience of disability. And I'll talk about this today. I've just finished one of my classes in disability studies. Theory is complex. There are disagreements about what theory we use. It's obtuse. People say, I don't know how to read your stuff, you use big words. It's disturbing. You make me feel uncomfortable. You talk about certain things that we, should have R ratings on them. We'll talk about that later. But this sense of disturbance and chaos is important because it helps us process not just what we think about disability, but the notion of ableness and difference ourselves, the notion of difference, and how the notion of difference is inscribed in ableist relations. And you might remember, and I don't want to kind of overdo this because I have got a time limit on this, but it actually was a brawl. I love brawls, particularly when there's nice wine involved. But you might remember, for those of you who did the Disability Theory Philosophy course, that it was a brawl between two activist groups.